These are called shoulder rotation reaches. There's two parts to it. One is some active rotation, and then one is a bigger motion. I'm gonna show both, and then I'll talk through it a little bit more, but we'll go through this in a sequence. So to start, fairly light band down here, open and broaden the chest a bit, not big squeeze back, open and broaden. Little pull apart of the band just to get a little tension, and then I'm gonna start with some rotations. So I'm rotating not just my hand, but my bicep and upper arm outward or external rotation, and then back to inward, trying to get a nice broad chest and keeping my arms reaching long. If that feels okay, I'm then gonna work my way up, hitting about 5 reps at different angles. So that's about 30 to 45 degrees. And then I'll come up towards 90. And then I'll go up a little higher, trying to get this arms long. So I'm reaching long and rotating. And then one more, don't need to go all the way overhead, but I'm reaching long and getting this rotation. Once we hit those angles, only going as far as you comfortably can. So if it's painful up here, then just work in the lower angles. But then the final piece is I'm going to get pull apart, rotate, and I'm going to work a range of motion holding that outward rotation through my pain-free range. And so if my pain-free range is only right here, I'll stay right there. If I have more pain-free range higher, go there. But I want to reach the arms long as I maintain this rotation. So working active rotation as I go up, and then I'm holding rotation to finish it off. Maintaining that upper arm as the rotation and the arms long. Okay, so that's the technique. What are we getting out of this? A little behind the scenes. So the shoulder tends to have more stability in positions of relative external or outward rotation. And that's not just of the hand or the palm, because the forearm can move independently to some extent of the shoulder, but I want to get the shoulder externally rotating. So it's my whole bicep upper arm. What you'll notice is that that tends to open my chest a bit. Most of our positions day to day are relatively internally rotated and forward. Think of a typing position, a driving position, carrying a child, or kind of feeding a child, or kind of any number of things are forward. That's not inherently bad, but if we're then going to go to do something that requires more range of motion, we don't want to be stuck in this internally rotated position. I want to be able to open and then not just squeeze back, but open and have some freedom of motion of the arm and shoulder blade. So what we're working on here from the bottom is just opening and broadening the chest and starting with these rotations where we're going from this inward position to the outward position. And I'm just working that, and then I'm slowly doing that as I go up. And I keep several times the arm long, because as I get the arm long, as long as I don't slump, the arm long gets the shoulder blade moving, and the shoulder blade is key to unlocking more motion of the arm itself. If I don't move my shoulder blade, I can't reach up very high, and so I found this long arm cueing tends to help cue good shoulder blade motion without overthinking the mechanics too much. So I'm getting these active rotations as I'm reaching long, and then to finish, I'm holding this as I move actively through it, just to get a little more endurance of some of those muscles. As I come up, it can be harder to rotate, and often if I start too internally rotated and reach long, that gets me shrugging up to my neck. And so what I want to do is keep space between the arm and the ear, so as I reach up, I can reach long, but I still have space through here. So that's the whole idea, is to cultivate external rotation actively, and then this scapular motion with the arms long, and then I can work in and out of that, or I can maintain it. Of course, I don't want to push through any pain or discomfort, so if you feel anything that doesn't feel quite right to you, of course, check in with your healthcare provider or physical therapist, but the simple fix at first is to just go in the pain-free range that you have. Sometimes if we're fresh off something that is hurting the shoulder, we might just start right down here. Maybe we're only going 10, 20 degrees, and then we're just kind of doing some small little reaches. That's totally okay to start. We're still getting some good work, and then gradually we'll work up. So give that a shot. It's a fairly simple exercise, but some of the details do matter, but I find it can really be helpful for retraining strength and stability through a big shoulder range of motion.